Hey everyone, Will I Am, Bowtie Sober Guy here. Merry Christmas Eve. How's everybody tonight? Can you believe it? Christmas is here. Well, it's almost here. Although it's funny, I actually have, I don't know if anybody else follows this, but I've got Santa's tracker up over here. So following Santa, he is tracking over Greenland in 1 minute and 38 seconds. So he's making good time, apparently. He was just last seen in another part of Greenland. Yeah, we're tracking Santa. Tracking Santa here, which has been kind of fun. Hope everybody is excited. We have the big holiday tomorrow. Excuse me, I should probably apologize. I woke up this morning and I'm fighting a cold or battling a cold or pretending that it's not there, although it really is. But we'll get through this tonight. And I actually am excited that we've got our youngest son is around tonight, so we're going to sit and watch some of the Christmas shows, the movies that are out there, that have been out forever, since the 60s, right? Frosty was just on, and then we're going to watch Rudolph. We got Santa Claus is Coming to Town. One of everyone's all-time favorite, the original Grinch, not the movie with Jim Carrey, but the original Grinch. And so I think we're going to probably be doing that tonight. And then tomorrow, of course, is Christmas Day. And I think I'll put some time aside to watch probably one of my most favorite of all-time movies for Christmas is The Polar Express. I'm really excited when that came out a number of years ago. But I think that's on the docket for tomorrow. And I don't know if you can tell the bow tie tonight. It's actually, these are Santa Clauses, but they're whatever they call 32-bit or whatever that's called. So, Santa's making a big turn. So I've got my Santa tie on today. So, don't want to take up a bunch of time tonight, but did want to talk a little bit about, it was interesting about gratitude. You know, we're in this season of giving and of gratitude, and I was in some reflection time this morning thinking about gratitude, and really, I know we've talked a little bit about it a couple other nights, and, what is gratitude? What does that feel like? What does it look like? But one of the things that was interesting, excuse me, I'm so sorry, so I might have to cut this even shorter. But one thing about gratitude that I thought was really interesting is when I talk to others about gratitude, when I work with others and we look at talking about gratitude lists, when we talk about, I think I've mentioned one night about one of those sayings that I love is if you woke up tomorrow with only the things that you're grateful for today, what would your day look like? And, I was thinking about that this morning, and so often for me, when it comes to gratitude, I am looking back. So I look at the past and I look at things that have already happened. And I say, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful that this happened. I'm grateful I got to do this. I'm grateful for this person coming into my life. I'm grateful for all the things that I have, that I've done, whatever it might be. And I started thinking about that, and I thought, that's interesting in the fact that when I'm looking at gratitude, it's past tense. And then I started thinking about, well, what's it like to live with gratitude in the present tense? And I started thinking about that, and it's kind of interesting, and it's easy to reflect and be grateful. But can we live each day with a grateful heart? Can we be excited and happy and grateful no matter what we're in, no matter what we're experiencing, no matter what we're going through, whoever we're around, whatever it might be? Can we, in that moment, be grateful? Well, I think we can, of course. That's the answer. But to live that way it's interesting to think about living with a grateful heart throughout every day and not just thinking back to what am I grateful for. So I thought that was, it was just eye-opening to me. And I know I talked a lot about gratitude, and we've shared some things on that, but I had a situation actually arise today at work. I had to work for today, and we had some things happen that was late in the day. And it was Christmas Eve, and it was kind of not a spur of the moment, but there was things that held up our business from happening, and there were some outside factors and influences that made the day go longer than the people that were involved, myself included, that they probably wanted to, because it's Christmas Eve, everybody's thinking they're gonna maybe end the day a little earlier, that kind of thing, not have to do that. But anyways, we had to go through this process, and we had to do this thing, and we had a client, and I was leaving with some of the other people that were involved in the situation, and it really hit my heart in the fact that everybody's like, thank you for being here, it's late on Christmas Eve, blah, blah, blah. But what I realized was that what we had done as a team, as a company, we had actually helped some other families, some other people achieve something that really is a big goal in a lot of people's lives. And rather than having this heavy heart or selfish heart where I was all about, this is going to happen, I'm not going to be able to do this, I was able to look at it differently and say, actually, I'm really grateful I got to do this, because I got to be involved in a process that helped others get something that they didn't have. And it was really cool. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of when I think about, can we live in the moment with this grateful heart and not just past tense? Yeah, I'm grateful for all those things. I'm grateful that this happened, and whatever it might be. But really, can we look at each and every minute of every day and say, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for being here. I'm grateful for being in this experience. And even in those experiences that maybe are not like these great, awesome things, which, by the way, is a majority of life, right? We don't all live in these highs all the time and everything going right. But how do we maintain that grateful heart through that and through that journey? And so, I kind of wanted to share that with everyone, and that, it's really about how do we live each and every day in gratitude, but also look back, of course, and reflect and recognize those things that we should be grateful for, but also in the present moment. And that actually reminds me of one other thing that I'll share with everybody, and that I was thinking about when it comes to gratitude and being grateful is, I think that we have to, for me, I have to have this conscious awareness. I have to make sure that I'm consciously aware of looking for things to be grateful, because my MO is kind of not, and not that I look at all the negative, but to change that, and then instead of just letting life happen, being open. Let's be open to experience what gratitude looks like. Open to see it. Thanks for those kind words. Great to see you, Debbie. What did gratitude? Oh, it certainly is part of a healthy, rich life. You are so right. Thanks for joining me tonight, and Corey, thank you for that. I appreciate those kind words. But, kind of back to that grateful is, am I open to experience it? Do I look for it? Do I look for those things that I can be grateful for? And then when they happen, do I recognize them? Or do I just take it as coincidence, or this is how it's supposed to be, right? Because we all think that we're supposed to have these great, fantastic, awesome lives. And a lot of us do. We all do. But it's how we frame that in our everyday living. And taking the time to recognize that, not after the fact, but how about while we're in it, while we're in that fact. Like I said, I'm going to, hang out with our son and Paula, and we're going to watch some Christmas movies tonight. And, to hang out in that place of gratitude while watching those, that we have the ability to do that, and watch these movies that have been around for a long, long time, 50 plus years. And, just living in that. And then the last thing that I thought was really interesting about gratitude, and something that I have really tried to find is to try to come up with, what is that one thing that I can use that will help me kind of pull myself back or put myself into this place and remind me to be grateful. and keep me grounded in that and not focused on negative things, or things aren't going the way that we want, or if anybody had to deal with traffic or shopping malls or anything like that over the last week. It's been crazy, right? But what are the things that we can use, actual tools that we can use to kind of help us pull back and really get back into that place? And some of my thoughts that I have on that, and my big one is music. It's funny is I'm not a huge music buff. Like I don't listen to a lot of different music. I don't know a lot about music. But one of the things that I have found in the last couple years in this journey that I'm on is that, and especially Christian music in my case, Christian music really brings me back to being grounded in that place where I can remember so many things to be grateful for, so many reasons to be happy, so many reasons to walk around with a smile on my face. How many of you walk around with a smile on your face? Raise your hand if you walk around with your smile on your face all day, every day. It can be hard. But you know what? And so that's one of the things that I try to use is that kind of music and really listening to the lyrics and what do those mean to me, and getting true meaning out of those. I know a lot of other people read. There's so many great books out there, and whether it's fiction or nonfiction, there's some great reading out there that you can do. Maybe that's what kind of grounds you and brings you back into maintaining that grateful heart. Or, this is one of the big things now is podcasts. There are podcasts everywhere for everything. And it's kind of a cool technology if you really think about it, because it gives the ability to really, listen to what you want to listen to. And we're in this on-demand society now, and so we can... sorry, I'm being distracted by Santa over here. For those of you that joined late, I'm watching Santa on NORAD Tracker. So he is heading for air escort to St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. 9 minutes, he's going to be landing in Canada. That's awesome. That means he's close to us here. So anyways, the podcast on our on-demand society. And same thing with music, with all the, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever, we get to pick and choose now. A couple other things is, and this is a big one for me too, is prayer. And meditation. I am not a great meditator, but I know a number of people that swear by it, and there's been studies that show how popular, or not popular, but how significant it is at changing people and their thought processes and how they do go through life and their days, and there's great healing in meditation. I just haven't been able to spend enough time really working on that, because it's just like anything else. We have to practice. But so looking at what are those things, what can you add? What's some of those tools? What are some of those tools that you can throw into your daily routine? We walk around now with these smartphones. I was pointing at mine sitting up there that's filming this. And there's so much power in these smartphones now that we can set up, reminders where we're reminded every hour, every couple hours, refocus on gratitude or refocus on whatever, stop and pause. There's all kinds of ways that we can use the technology really to better ourselves. And for that matter, better the world, because I think when we better ourselves, we make a better impact on the world, and in the end, we are going to get a better world because of that. So, my challenge to you tonight is think about that. Think about what can you use as a tool, to kind of bring yourself back and keep you grounded in really what's important. Again, in a time where, a lot of people are waking up tomorrow and it's all about the big presents or what's under the tree, but really it's not necessarily what's under the tree that's really truly important, but it's what's in here. And if you can find that one thing that can help you throughout each and every day, kind of come back to here and see, okay, what is it that I need today here and right now, right here. again, there's so many different tools out there, reading, music, podcasts, whatever. So, hey, Jerry, welcome. I don't want to take up a bunch of your time tonight. I did want to share that. It was just some thoughts that I had earlier today, and was able to experience really what it felt to be grateful in the moment, rather than just in reflection, being grateful in reflection, but also in the moment. And so, you know what? I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I'm hoping to jump on here tomorrow again on Christmas Day. I know it's a busy day for a lot of people, and family and friends and that kind of a thing, but I also know it's an important day and it's a special day. So look for me tomorrow, but until then, we've only got a couple hours. Santa's about, it's Canada, so those of you at the East Coast, if you're out on the East Coast, I hope you're jumping into bed, because he's not far away, and you don't want Santa to skip your house because you're awake. So anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight, and we will talk to you tomorrow. And until then, have a very Merry Christmas.